If you were born before 1956, I need you to stop what you're doing and give me the next few minutes. Because there's one part of your Social Security record that many retirees never check. And in some cases, overlooking it has meant receiving less than they were entitled to because of missing earnings records, calculation errors, or claiming decisions they didn't fully understand. Now, I'm not saying everyone born before 1956 has been underpaid. But I am saying this. If you've never reviewed how your benefit was calculated, there's no way to know whether your record is completely accurate. Today, I'll show you exactly what to look for, why people born before 1956 should pay special attention, and the simple steps you can take to review your record yourself. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also show you the one page inside your Social Security account that many retirees never open. Yet it could answer questions about how your benefit was calculated. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your complete Social Security earnings history? Not your monthly payment, your actual earnings record. If the answer is no, you're not alone. And that's exactly where today's story begins. So let's answer that question. Many people think Social Security simply looks at the last few years you worked and decides what to pay you. That's not how it works. Your retirement benefit is generally based on your highest 35 years of earnings over your working life. Those earnings are adjusted using a formula established by Social Security, and the result becomes the foundation for your monthly retirement benefit. Now think about that for a moment. If 1 or 2 years of your earnings history are missing, if an employer reported the wrong amount, or if your record contains an error that was never corrected, that calculation may not reflect your actual work history. Again, I'm not saying this happens to everyone, but it happens often enough that it's worth taking a few minutes to verify your own record. And here's what surprises many retirees. Most people never look. They receive their first Social Security payment, assume everything is correct, and never question it again. Years go by, sometimes decades. Meanwhile, they have no idea whether every year they worked was properly recorded. Let me ask you something. Can you remember every job you've had? Most people over 65 have worked for several employers during their lifetime. Some changed careers. Some moved to different states. Some worked part-time while raising children. Others owned businesses. When your work history stretches across 30 or 40 years, it's not difficult to imagine how a missing record or reporting error could happen. That's exactly why reviewing your earnings history is so important. Now, there's another reason people born before 1956 should pay close attention. It has to do with something called your full retirement age. For many people in this age group, that age was 66. Some claimed benefits before reaching it because they needed the income, experienced health issues, or simply believed it was the right decision. Others waited until their full retirement age or even longer. Here's what many people didn't fully understand at the time. Claiming early generally reduces your monthly benefit compared with waiting until your full retirement age, while delaying beyond your full retirement age can increase it up to certain limits. The important point isn't whether your decision was right or wrong. Everyone's situation is different. The important point is understanding why your payment is the amount it is today. I've spoken with retirees who spent years believing the government had simply decided on a number. They never realized that their claiming age and their earnings history both played a major role in determining that payment. And that's why reviewing your record is so valuable. It helps replace assumptions with facts. But here's where this becomes even more interesting. Even if you claimed at exactly the right time, even if you waited until your full retirement age, your payment could still deserve a closer look if your earnings record isn't complete. And that's exactly what we're going to check next. I'll show you the first place to look inside your My Social Security account, what warning signs to watch for, and the simple documents that could help if you notice something that doesn't look right. Now let's look at what you can actually do, because knowing there's a possibility of an error is one thing. Knowing how to check for it is what really matters. The first step is to log into your My Social Security account at the official Social Security website. If you've never created one before, don't worry. The process is straightforward, and once you're in, you'll have access to one of the most important documents connected to your retirement: your earnings history. This is a year-by-year record of the wages that were reported under your Social Security number throughout your working life. Don't rush through it. Take your time and go through it 1 year at a time. You're looking for anything that doesn't seem right. Maybe a year shows no earnings even though you remember working. Maybe the amount listed is much lower than you expected. Or perhaps there's a gap that simply doesn't make sense. Those are the kinds of things worth looking into. Now, finding something unusual doesn't automatically mean there's been a mistake. Sometimes there's a simple explanation. But if something looks incorrect, don't ignore it. Gather whatever records you still have. All W-2 forms, tax returns, pay stubs, employment records, anything that helps confirm what you earned during that time. Even if you don't have every document from decades ago, start with what you do have. Many retirees are surprised by how much information they still have tucked away in filing cabinets, storage boxes, or old folders. Once you've gathered your records, contact the Social Security Administration and explain what you've found. They can review your earnings history with you and let you know what documentation may be needed if a correction is appropriate. Now here's something else I want you to check. If you delayed claiming your retirement benefits beyond your full retirement age, review your benefit information carefully to make sure those delayed retirement credits appear to have been applied. They're not relevant to everyone, but if you intentionally waited to increase your benefit, it's reasonable to understand how that decision is reflected in your payment. And while you're reviewing your account, don't stop with your earnings history. Take a few extra minutes to look over your personal information as well. Make sure your name is correct, your date of birth is correct, and your work history appears complete. Small errors may seem insignificant, but they can sometimes create larger questions later. Remember, this isn't about assuming something is wrong. It's about confirming that everything is right. After spending decades earning those benefits, you deserve the confidence of knowing your record accurately reflects the work you've done. Let me ask you one final question before we wrap up. When was the last time you reviewed your Social Security record? For many people, the answer is never. Not because they didn't care, but because no one ever told them they should. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Too many retirees assume the numbers must be correct simply because they came from the government. Most of the time they are. But if there's an exception, you want to be the person who discovers it, not years later, but now, while you still have the opportunity to ask questions and, if needed, request a review. If today's video encouraged you to log in and check your own record, then we've accomplished exactly what this channel is here to do. And if you know someone who was born before 1956 and is already collecting Social Security, share this video with them. It might encourage them to spend 10 minutes reviewing something they've never looked at before. If you found this helpful, subscribe. Every day we break down Social Security, Medicare, retirement benefits, and the financial decisions that matter most to retirees, using plain English, practical guidance, and information designed to help you make informed decisions with confidence. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.